on, wax off.
Cigarettes.
Excellent.
Hello and welcome Midlifers. We are your hosts, Fonz
And Miss.
And this is your weekly podcast where it's not self-help but more help yourself to a smorgasbord of nostalgia, laughter and a deep dive into the past.
Welcome, listeners. This week on our show, we're starting off with Rant or Rave about Crocs. There's deep feelings with that one, I think. Then and now. We're talking about music, how it was made and how it was discovered then and now, and who did a better battle. Think cocktails, think bars. Well, cocktail is one of them, and the other one, Coyote Ugly.
So let's jump in.
Woo!
Got a pain in your back
That stops you in your tracks.
when you think your up is gold.
But your kid just thinks you're old.
It's a midlife moment.
Okay, I've got a little midlife moment for you and something a little extra I've got. We've had knits in our house about 2 months ago. And I've never had knits growing up as a kid. I've only had it since I've had my kids. So we had knits in our house. I've got long hair. My two daughters have long hair. We all de-knitified. All good. But my head just kept on itching. You know when it's in your head and it's like, oh my God, I must have missed an egg or something.
Yes.
I actually don't think I had knits. I think I may have found eggs previously when we did knitified.
Yeah.
So anyway, and it's just in my head. I'm like, and we were about to go on a holiday. So I thought, I've got to get this done before holiday.
Yeah.
So I did the whole thing for all us, my two daughters and myself. Nothing.
Great.
Then I heard on the radio, itchy scalp is a sign of perimenopause. Freaking hell.
Far out. There's
It's like,
no rest.
There is no rest. It's another thing to add to the list. So midlifers out there, females in particular, if your head is scratchy,
itchy now.
it's either knits or perimenopause.
Yay.
Well done. Yay, us. And I've just got this random thing.
Yep.
Okay, a random thing that I thought you would appreciate, and I think if you appreciate Fonz, our listeners might appreciate this.
Okay.
We just came back from a holiday. My beautiful brother Auntie often helps us out on holiday by either come to feed our dog, house sitting, whatsoever. A few years ago when we went overseas, he house sat for us. And when we came back, so walk into the house, haven't been there obviously for a month or so, and here sitting randomly in a photo frame is this picture. Okay, I'll describe this picture. Who is in this picture, Fonz?
Steven Seagal. Circa 1988.
In his classic signature Steven Seagal pose of his two arms crossed firmly in front of him. It's just a random thing. I thought midlifers might like it because Steven Seagal, he's of our era. But, just random shit.
I love
just
it.
random stuff.
I love it.
I knew you'd appreciate it. Hopefully midlifers do. And brother, I appreciate that.
Rant, rave. Rant or rave. Yeah. So today we are going to rant and or rave Crocs. This amazing footwear.
It's amazing, is it?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I think it started
popular.
out- It's very popular.
Yeah.
But why?
Don't know.
I think it started out as a startup company in 2001 or 2002.
I've got 2000 or early 2000s. Can I tell you the backstory of how
I would
Crocs
love
came
to hear about it, Miss.
I've done research this week. Usually you're the one filling me in on the info, but I'll tell you this. They had three friends sailing the Caribbean. They found these boat shoes and it was the material that they really loved because it was so light and so comfortable. It's called Croslite. And so they actually got the license to be the only people that can manufacture shoes out of that material.
Wow.
So yes, originally started for being on boats because obviously, wet, lightweight. And then somehow, much to my dismay, it's made its way into popular culture and seeing it out on the streets. As you can tell, I'm going to say right out, I rant the Crocs. I think they're hideous. They're ugly. Unless you're working in a restaurant or a nurse or like that sort of
Or going to and from school, swimming.
Swimming, okay. Yes,
kids.
I get that. I actually
If you're an
haven't-
Olympian.
Yes. Okay. I haven't thought so far as Olympians. But wearing it as streetwear with those freaking gibbets. I love the word gibbets. It's a great word.
Yeah, I like gibbets too.
Gibbets is good. But no, it's a rant. I'm putting it out there. Sorry,
That's
I
early.
can't hold back.
That's a premature rant. Premature rant. Listen, bit of history to add on to yours. There was a movie released in 2004 called Idiocracy, starring Luke Wilson. And they filmed it as to say 500 years into the future, and everyone was wearing Crocs. Now, that is because it fell into the movie budget. And it was before Crocs were popular.
All right.
And by the time that the movie was released, people started wearing Crocs. But the whole premise of it was that the people of the future were idiots. And so people in the future wearing Crocs are idiots. Therefore, we are living this movie. We are idiots.
I am not, because I have not bought a pair of Crocs yet.
However, Mez, I ranted Crocs.
Okay.
Always have, because I just think they are an ugly piece of footwear.
Oh, my lordy, they're ugly.
But, and I put a very big but, I went on a trip to Asia. People were wearing Crocs.
Okay. What? And
And I saw it. So initially I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Second time. Third time. Oh, yeah. Come up to the fifth time, Mez. I'm like, I want to buy a pair of Crocs.
You want it in.
With the gibbets. I drank the Kool-Aid. I went to the Crocs store to look into buying Crocs. It was busy. It was flat out. I couldn't get served. Therefore, I did not buy my Crocs with the sparkly gibbets.
Okay.
And I said to my husband, I'll buy them in Australia. I haven't yet, but I'm tempted.
Now, this is another one on my rant side, the price point for legitimate Crocs. I think they're on sale now, but I think about $85 to $100 for a legitimate pair.
Yeah.
I'm not talking that Kmart pair.
That's that kids price, is that?
Is that kids' price?
Yeah, kids price is quite expensive.
Oh my gosh. See, that much for no. But I do see Kmart have them. And
Yes.
spoiler alert to my kids who don't watch this podcast, but we are doing a little group gifting thing, and we're going to gift the kids Crocs, but not legitimate Crocs, the Kmart pair.
The Kmart Crocs are great. My kids have been using Kmart Crocs all year. They get complimented on it because my son's is a crocodile Crocs. They're in the shape of a crocodile, and my daughter's is unicorn Crocs. They cost like $12 or $6, whatever it is. The kids get complimented.
People like them.
They use the use to and from swimming, quick rush out the door. It's fantastic.
The only reason I would drink the Kool-Aid is to say, never for myself, never.
You say this now.
We'll check back in if we're still doing this podcast in a few years and see if I'm still on the right track for the kids, because my daughter youngest does dancing. She can't wear jazz shoes and that sort of stuff. So that the ease of use, and for swimming lessons, yes. So for the practicality with kids and with certain jobs and industries, yes.
Well, they are spongy. They're easy to clean. They aerate your foot.
No fungus in that.
No fungus. Like if you suffer tinea, you want those Crocs, yeah?
I don't want your Crocs. If you
I don't want your tinea. But why can't I, as an everyday person in the community, make Crocs work?
You can. They won't work for me.
The only thing I rant about it is it lacks arch support, and I need arch support. So I might find them quite uncomfortable.
Your back would start to hurt or something afterwards.
It's my bursitis in my foot.
That's right. Bringing back the old bursitis.
It's my bursitis. But like the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, oh, I think I want a pair, and I reckon I could rock it.
Please don't. Just don't wear them around me.
I might.
Please don't.
Well, for me, Mez, I'm in the middle. I can't rant nor rave yet until I buy a pair, and then I can report back.
I can't. I could never. I will never, because I think they're the ugliest shoe ever, and I will never buy them for myself. I'll never try them on. You can't make me. No.
I look forward to a couple of years' time.
They're eating my
You're
words.
clopping into my house in your Crocs. And we can step back in time to this episode.
Fonz,
Mez.
you're a music lover.
I do love music.
Yeah.
Always have.
Yes.
I was raised that way.
Yeah. So I love music, but I think you're the next level above me. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I think I have to credit my childhood on that and how I listened to music from a very young age.
Well, so the reason I'm thinking about this, because today we're talking about how music was discovered and how in turn how it's made. And I'm thinking back to when we grew up, the way I would hear some music was just from commercial radio.
Yes.
Whereas I know, because commercial radio in Australia, you're thinking Fox FM.
Yes.
I can't remember what the other ones were at the time.
I can't remember either. I'm just thinking Gold FM, but
That's
we
us
didn't listen
now.
to Gold FM.
But there was a sort of alternative station called Triple J, where you would hear, obviously, alternative music. I know that was your thing. That wasn't my thing. But yeah, that's the only... Where else? And probably gigs, I suppose.
Yeah, and I was thinking watching video hits.
Yep.
Listening to your big brothers or your big cousins, what they listen to, you would have been heavily influenced by what your older siblings listen to.
Well, yes, because I've got older brothers and they went to Pearl Jam last night and I've actually got tickets to Metallica for next year.
And I'm piggybacking.
Yes, you come with me. And Guns N' Roses, I remember hearing that from my older brother. Yeah. So, yeah, it's what you're...
God, I remember Guns N' Roses being in year 7 and all the year 12s wearing flannel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Am I sort of in that boat today?
Anko flannel.
That's my Tajay. It's Tajay, thank you very much.
But you're absolutely right. And
movies, that's another way. Movie soundtracks. And I think, movie soundtracks...
Yes.
Like, if I think 80s, one that comes to my head in the 80s is Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yes.
Something strange in
neighborhood.
Who you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Yes. But sort of in the 80s and 90s would sort of be like a 1 or 2 songs from it.
Yes.
In the 2000s, they'd start like, I think we've talked about in the past, like Cruel Intentions, Romeo and Juliet, where the whole soundtrack had great music.
Yes.
So yeah, you would discover new songs from movies.
And look, I'm just going to step back a bit more, but my parents' vinyl, their collection. Look, I remember going to see my auntie's collection at my grandparents' house. It was Julio Iglesias. I remember looking at it like, oh, gross.
Was it like Engelbert Humperdinck or something?
Engelbert Humperdinck. But one memory I have from my younger years is my parents having the Bangles Walk Like an Egyptian vinyl.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand how a record player fully worked. So I put the needle on and it'd play really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't understand how to put it normal. And I'm like, have they got the wrong album? But yes, parents' vinyl collection.
Parents' vinyl, yeah.
God, I love
That's where I heard
vinyl.
Elvis, yeah, my mum had a lot of big Elvis. She's a big Elvis fan, Elvis
Really?
collection. I remember, in the ghetto. Doing like Cartman from South Park for that.
Yes.
But yeah, parents, radio, older siblings, and so forth. Okay. Gigs as well.
Oh, yeah.
And movies, which really amped up moving forward to the 2000s.
It was
and
very
now.
much word of mouth. Very much. But
Yeah.
are we going to now?
We are going to now because I have to tell you a little story.
Oh, okay.
My kids, my oldest two are sort of tween, and my son started telling me who he likes on his Spotify playlist and naming off all these artists I've never heard of, but it's all through YouTube. And then looking at it now, my kids don't listen to commercial radio. So the way a lot of people discovered anything Justin Bieber and all that sort of stuff is YouTube. YouTube and now TikTok as well.
Yes. Can we step back in time related to that?
Yes.
Neighbours, Kylie Minogue.
Yeah.
She was discovered in Neighbours.
Okay.
Neighbours helped her launch her career.
Yes, there's a soap. Oh, we could do a whole segment of soapy stars or
but
TV
that
stars.
was the original
going to-
TikTok.
Yeah.
And now our kids are looking at TikTok for inspiration.
Yeah, and it's weird because the thing about TikTok, we've started to look into TikTok. I'm still getting
Delved
it.
into TikTok.
I'm still
It's been
getting it.
12 months.
We still
I
don't
hate
know.
it.
We still don't know what the hell we're doing there. And my daughter occasionally sees a TikTok I made. She's like, oh, that got 5 likes. That wasn't very good. I'm like, I'm trying.
5 likes is great.
Yeah, things can go viral, and
Yeah.
the audience in TikTok, the amount of views you can get is astronomical.
Yes.
So the way now the labels sort of market it is all differently, because if you become a hit viral on TikTok, that can obviously propel the artist.
But that's the industry. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Whereas social media has taken it away.
Now the who you know is the audience.
The algorithm.
The algorithm. Yes, the who you know is the algorithm. Whereas before, the who you know was the record executives and labels and all that sort of stuff. Now
I reckon it was harder back then for
Yeah.
people to break into the industry.
look at us.
Still trying.
That's the thing.
No, but hang on, hear me out. So musicians can go on TikTok, they can release their own film clips on YouTube. They are able to market themselves and advertise for themselves. I think it makes it more attainable.
I suppose it's attainable, but then you've got so many people doing that themselves, it's still...
You still have to sift through the shit.
Yes, you still
Sorry if you sound like shit.
Get like us.
We'll keep trying. But I find it as a consumer of this day and age, it's hard to discover new music because I only listen to Gold FM.
Okay. Yep.
And it's only for 30 seconds dropping my child off at school. And then I've got no music on my algorithm.
Yeah. I look through TikTok because I'm trying to figure it out. And from them, then I might hear new music. But again, the way that changed the music is now you've got 4 seconds to grab the audience's attention. Yes. The way a songs are constructed, it's starting to change because they need to get it in. Right,
I have heard this.
Yeah.
And they have made songs particular lengths for TikTok now.
It's our concentration span and the algorithm. It's like you need to be fast and the turnover is so quick. Everything's just quick.
It's just changed.
So yeah, I still listen to commercial radio, not that often. It's usually to and from school pickup. So if I do hear new music, it is still from there or from social media.
I have listened to a podcast where they have discussed musicians and I have listened to these music. Mez, do you know how I've discovered?
Yeah.
Coles and Woolies radio. I was going down the aisles and they played Olivia Rodrigo. I'm like, what's this? And Shazammed it and it was Olivia Rodrigo. And I started listening to Olivia Rodrigo.
There you go.
And Rodrigo. And also, on Instagram, I discovered Chapel Roan.
Yes, yeah.
Freaking love her.
Yeah.
And it's also used in people's social media reels as trending audio.
Yes.
So then you're hearing it going, what is this?
Yeah.
So it's a snowball.
It is a snowball. It's just like everything. Everything evolves. Everything's changed. I was never a big music aficionado as you were.
I know. But what's happened?
Yeah, I can't keep up. And this is funny again with my teens. They'll start naming off these artists. I'm like, who? Who's that? What's that?
My thing is, I really want to be up to date with my kids' music because that's going to be or video games now. That's going to be our bridging the gap between us.
It's hard because again with my daughter, like say she doesn't mind some of the Sabrina Carpenter songs. So it's like, oh yeah. And then if I'll suggest something or I'll try to say one of her artist songs, she's like, you stay away from my music. Like,
stay in your lane, Mum.
Stay in your lane. So yeah.
Well, we'll stay in our lanes. We'll listen to what we want.
We'll listen to Cole's digital radio.
That's great.
And Gold FM.
Who did it better battle? Ding, ding. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. It ain't Mike Tyson. It ain't Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
That's all right.
But it's a fight between Cocktail and Coyote Ugly. Who did it better, Mez?
Let's find out.
So Cocktail, stepping back in time, 1988, where the tagline was, when he pours, he rains.
That's a shit tagline.
And he
I
poured.
don't like that at all. No. Sorry. Yeah.
So I had the leading man, Tom Cruise, as Brian, and his mentor, Doug, played by Brian Brown.
No,
Let's not get confused by that.
I was getting confused by that. As I said, Tom Cruise, love him. So
He always puts his all.
Yes, he does put his all. Leading men, actors, great. Elizabeth Shue.
Beautiful.
Yep.
The woman of the 80s.
She was very much an 80s person.
Yes.
She
played Jordan Mooney, by the way.
Yeah, the rich girlfriend. Not that she was uppity or anything.
No.
The storyline for this. Do you want to go into the storyline?
If you will.
Yeah, the Tom Cruise's Brian.
Yes.
Graduating business school and he meets, what's his name? Doug? No?
Doug. Yeah, so he was in business school and to make ends meet or to get money, he moved to Jamaica to work at the bar there.
No, but first they met at New York. Yeah.
Oh, they met in New York first?
Yeah. Did a bar there, but then they had a bet about sleeping with something or other.
The rich girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the rich girls afterwards.
Shivers.
They had a bet there first.
I'm going to be quiet.
Okay. They managed. They did get. Remember, they got the successful bar, and it's like neon and stuff.
Was that Cocktails and Dreams or not yet?
The Cocktails and Dreams? I think was just
Can I please be quiet? Stop asking me questions.
So I think Brian Brown basically took him. They and Tom Cruise. They made a successful bar, and there's sort of like. And then don't you remember like Brian Brown sort of standing and on the like on the bar, and he's doing this like poem or something.
Yeah, I remember the poem.
Yeah, so that was in America, like in New York, I think. Anyway, they had a falling out, and Jamaica happened 2 years after that.
Oh my God.
Yes.
The Mandela effect. I have a totally different movie in my head.
What's Mandela effect?
The Mandela effect is when you think something happened and the reality is it didn't.
Oh, okay.
So I thought they met in Jamaica on the beach.
No,
Well,
they run into each other in Jamaica again. That's where
Miz, you keep going because you're going to lead the way on this because I've remembered wrong.
Well, it was just they had a falling out because Brian Brown slept with his Tom Cruise's missus. Then Tom Cruise went ahead with their Cocktails and Dreams in Jamaica, and that's when he meets Elizabeth Shue.
Yes.
But Tom Cruise is always, I don't know, like, want to be a successful businessman.
Yeah.
But then Brian Brown comes along and wrecks things because he bets him that he can't sleep with this rich woman.
He kind of, what's the word? Oh, now he's quite toxic, Brian Brown.
He is toxic. Yeah, it's not a good friendship.
No, it's not a good mentorship that he had. But
yeah,
keep going.
I just find, the storyline for this movie is
It's quite bland.
Yeah, it's kind of irrelevant. Like, what I loved about Cocktail is the setting.
Yes. The
tricks,
flair. The flair bartending.
I did work at TGI Fridays.
I was going to ask you about that. You had flair bartending.
They did have flair bartending, and it was fun, and everyone loves that.
Everyone loves a bit of razzle dazzle.
I'm just hitting the cameras and the microphones because my hands are going nuts. Throwing up the bottles and stuff. So much fun. That's what I loved about it. I love Jamaica. I love the setting. The Kokomo.
The song. Yes.
Yeah.
By the Beach Boys. And John Stamos in the film clip in a steel drum.
How does John Stamos get in there?
I don't know, but I remember being so surprised watching
Yes.
it. Mum, John Stamos is in the Beach Boys. How? I don't know.
Yeah, and then Full House had an episode where they.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they went to Hawaii.
They went to Hawaii and Uncle Jesse went on stage.
We digress. Proper back. So to me, the tagline's crap. The friendship. I don't know. Actually, I think probably the most interesting part is the sort of toxic friendship because it sort of puts a bit of edge to it.
Yeah.
Acting good.
I think
Cocktail flair great.
I think it was the commitment that Tom Cruise put into his acting and learning bartending acrobatics is what made the movie great. Also, he was was he established or an up-and-comer back then? Elizabeth Shue was an 80s icon back in the day. I think that's what kind of drove it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were, 7 at the time, Mez?
I watched that. And
I watched it too. Back in the 80s, you could watch anything.
I know. And at the end, with suicide and everything. But, there I am, 8 years old, watching it. Brian Brown.
Oh my God, did he?
Yes.
It's all coming back to me now.
I don't think
it
is.
That's a bit crap. Well, I had a fun fact about Cocktail before we go on. So there's Gina Gershon. Now, I think she was the woman
the rich woman?
Yep. So they had a bed scene
She looks
together.
like a Gina, sorry. As soon as you said her name, I'm like, anyway, it's that lady.
Gina.
She does look like a Gina. Yep.
Anyway, so in that bed scene, she kneed Tom Cruise in the face, and then he realised that she was very ticklish. He tickled her so much they both fell out of the bed, and they used that take in the movie.
I shall have to look at that.
But look, let's move on to Coyote Ugly. Now, this is more us because it was a 2000s movie.
Yeah, it was in our going out days.
Yes,
it was. Low-rise jeans make a big appearance in there.
How low can you go?
Very low.
It was a sexy comedy, would you say?
I don't know if it's comedy. I don't know what it was.
It was sexy.
It was the storylines.
It was candy. It was eye candy.
Oh, it was eye candy, yes. Eye candy.
Eye candy on both sides.
Yes. So you got the flair in Cocktail.
Yeah.
Coyote Ugly, it's the dancing on the bars.
The dancing.
Come on.
And the water and the flair.
When they do the boot scooting dance, when they do the water and everything dance.
'cause
like, who wouldn't want to go to a bar like that? Come on.
And I wanted to go to a bar like that.
Everyone wanted to go to a bar like that. And yeah, that's what was fun about it. I was just going to say, just going back to the storyline. So the storyline was, I've written down her name, Piper Perebo.
Yes.
What's her character's name again?
Violet.
Violet, that's right.
But her name, she wasn't called Violet. Violet at Coyote Ugly. Lil, the bar manager, called her Jersey because she was from Jersey. Come on, Jersey.
So, yes, the storyline was Violet goes to,
She's a songwriter
yep.
trying to make ends meet, wanting to make money.
But she's too scared to sing in front of the crowd.
Yes.
And she goes, I've got no sympathy for sing. You wouldn't do it, sing.
I know. You got to have some passion and drive, lady.
Sorry,
yeah, so she goes she goes to join Coyote Ugly.
Yep.
And in the end, she gets her confidence, doesn't she?
She does. Obviously, the lights go out when the final scene, then she starts singing into the moonlight. I don't know. Her character I found a bit wishy-washy. Did
she find a moonlight mez?
She found something. But going to the actors, so she had that cute, sweet, innocent, naive
and
look.
Great skin. I loved her.
Okay, sure.
I loved her skin.
I loved her hair. Stay away, Piper. Someone's coming for you. But John Goodman as a dad who was funny.
Yeah.
Maria Bello, who's great.
Yes.
But the main guy, Adam Garcia.
Ooh.
What happened to him?
He was in Tap Dogs.
He was. And then he came here.
tapped out.
He did tap out. Tap Dogs. And then he came to America to be Coyote Ugly. Great movie. Took his shirt off on the bar.
Yeah.
Really hot. Gone.
Yeah,
Then
but
I think he was.
Broadway.
I think he went to be one of the judges in Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yes. But he kind of just fizzled out.
He did fizzle.
Yeah, it was a shame because he's a very good-looking
was
and
cute.
skillful man.
Yeah, he had charisma. He had a bit of cheekiness about it,
yeah,
which I liked.
He did.
It's just girls dancing in bars.
Yeah, it's eye candy. That's all it is.
And fun.
It was fun.
And the song was really good.
Oh, the song. Now, I want to talk to you about the song.
Please do.
So, all about the music in it. So, Leanne Rimes sung all of Piper Perebo's songs.
Okay.
And in the end, when they sing the last song as a duet, I think Can't Find a Moonlight duet, it was basically Leanne Rimes having a duet with herself.
I did read that, which I didn't know until I was researching this.
Yeah, it's like, I found it very ABBA because she'd be like, can't find the moonlight. But yeah, I found that fun. But look, the party never ends with Coyote Ugly. Well, it kind of did end, didn't it?
Then the 2 hours are finished.
But I found the movies are quite similar. Like Maria Bello was the mentor as well.
Yep.
But she wasn't quite as toxic as Brian Brown's character, but she was still a bit
No nonsense.
I think she had a bit of acid in her tone.
Yeah. Oh, she's not putting up with anything.
No, she was no bullshit.
No bullshit. And if you ran a bar in New York with girls dancing in the bar.
And men,
you had to be no bullshit.
That's right.
There's the other dancer that I liked, Bridget Moynihan. She was a sort of rough one that if any guys got, they should sort of rough them up. I like that.
You like a bit of
rough and tumble from Bridget Moynihan.
So, Mez, who did it better for you? Coyote Ugly or Cocktail?
I got to say, I very much enjoy both of them. But for me, if I'm just going, again, the storyline for both is a bit blur. So if I'm going by entertainment, Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Coyote.
I find it hard to say. I say Coyote.
Coyote. Coyote Ugly. I found that better than Cocktail because I was a bit too young for Cocktail. I had a totally different storyline in my head.
I might be wrong too. Who knows? My brains are fried.
Like as when you were saying, oh yeah, that happened.
Okay.
Cocktail, I did have the better song with Kokomo. However, Coyote Ugly reigns supreme for me.
Well done, Coyote.
Coyote.
That's it for today's show.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
If you'd like to check out what we're doing on our socials, we'd love you to come along and have a follow. We're on Instagram, TikTok,
Facebook.
TikTok's a bit iffy. We're working on it. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you are listening from, please press the follow button so you don't miss any shows.
And give us a thumbs up on YouTube as well and subscribe.
Thank you very much. Aruba,
Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you to Bermuda.